Hello everyone, and welcome to this basic training on variable frequency drives, commonly known as VFDs. In this video we will learn what a VFD is, how it works, its main components, key operating parameters, and common control modes. We will also look at VFD inputs and outputs, typical industrial applications, basic wiring concepts, communication protocols, common faults, PLC integration, and the major benefits of using a VFD. So let's get started and understand the basics of variable frequency drives. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at what we will cover in this complete VFD training. We will start with the basics of what a VFD is and how it works. Then, we will explore the internal blocks, main components, operating parameters, and different control modes. Next, we will discuss inputs and outputs, practical applications, wiring diagrams, V over F characteristics, common faults, PLC integration, communication protocols, and the key benefits of using VFDs in industrial automation. Let's begin with the first topic: what is a VFD? Now that we know the course structure, let's start with the most basic question: what is a VFD? A variable frequency drive, or VFD, is an electronic device used to control the speed and torque of an AC motor by varying the frequency and voltage supplied to the motor. A VFD allows smooth starting and stopping, reduces starting current, saves energy, improves process control, and helps extend motor life. This is why VFD have become an essential part of modern industrial automation systems. Let's now see how a VFD actually works. Now let's understand the basic working principle of a VFD. The incoming AC supply first enters the rectifier section, where it is converted into DC power. This DC power is then smoothed and stored in the DC bus using capacitors. Next, the inverter section converts the DC back into AC, but with variable voltage and variable frequency. By changing the output frequency, the VFD controls the speed of the motor. For example, a 4-pole motor runs at about 1500 RPM at 50 Hz, but at 25 Hz, the speed drops to approximately 750 RPM. This simple process allows precise and efficient motor speed control. Now let's look inside the VFD and identify its major internal blocks. At the front, we have the control panel, which is used for monitoring and parameter settings. The incoming AC power enters the rectifier section, where it is converted into DC power. The DC bus capacitors then smooth and store this DC energy. Next, the IGBT inverter module converts the DC into a variable frequency AC output for motor speed control. The control board, gate driver board, cooling fan, ME filter, and terminal blocks all work together to ensure reliable, efficient, and safe operation of the VFD. Now let's focus on the main parts of a VFD and understand the role of each component. The rectifier converts the incoming AC supply into DC power. The DC bus capacitor smooths and stores this DC voltage, creating a stable power source. The IGBT inverter then converts the DC power back into variable AC voltage and frequency for motor control. The control board acts as the brain of the VFD, processing signals and managing all operations. The keypad and display allow parameter setting and monitoring, while the cooling fan removes heat and keeps the drive operating safely. Together, these components enable precise and reliable motor speed control. To operate a VFD effectively, it is important to understand its key parameters. The first group includes motor data such as rated voltage, current, power, and speed. These values must match the motor nameplate to ensure proper operation and protection. Next are frequency settings, including minimum, maximum, and base frequency, which define the motor's operating range. Acceleration and deceleration times determine how quickly the motor starts and stops. Other important settings include the control mode, command source, frequency reference source, and protection parameters such as overcurrent, overvoltage, undervoltage, and thermal protection. Proper parameter configuration is essential for safe, reliable, and efficient VFD performance. Now let's look at the different control modes available in a VFD. In local mode, the motor is controlled directly from the VFD keypad, where the operator can start, stop, and adjust speed manually. In remote mode, commands come from external terminals. For example, a PLC can start or stop the motor, while an analog signal controls the speed. In communication mode, the VFD is controlled and monitored digitally through industrial communication protocols such as Modbus, Profibus, Profinet, or Ethernet, IP. The selected control mode depends on the application and system requirements. Now let's look at the inputs and outputs of a VFD. Digital inputs are used for commands such as run forward, run reverse, multi-speed selection, and fault reset. These signals typically come from push buttons, relays, or PLCs. Analog inputs, such as 0 to 10 volts or 4 to 20 milliamps, are commonly used to provide motor speed references. On the output side, relay outputs can indicate important drive conditions such as run, fault, or ready status. These inputs and outputs allow the VFD to communicate and interact seamlessly with the overall control system. Now let's explore some of the most common applications of VFD in industry. VFD are widely used with pumps to control flow and save energy, and with fans to regulate airflow based on process demand. They are also used in conveyor systems for smooth speed control, compressors for efficient pressure management, and cranes and hoists for controlled acceleration, deceleration, and positioning. Because of their flexibility and energy-saving capabilities, VFDs have become an essential component in modern industrial automation systems. Now let's look at a basic VFD wiring diagram. The three-phase power supply is connected to the VFD input terminals, while the motor is connected to the output terminals U, V, and W. Digital inputs are used for commands such as forward, reverse, and stop. A potentiometer connected to the analog input provides the speed reference signal. The relay outputs can be used to indicate drive conditions such as run, ready, or fault status, allowing the VFD to communicate with external control systems. This basic wiring arrangement forms the foundation of most VFD installations. One of the most widely used VFD control methods is V/F control, also known as volts per hertz control. In this method, the VFD maintains a constant ratio between voltage and frequency. As the frequency increases, the voltage increases proportionally, helping the motor maintain its required magnetic flux and torque. For example, at 20 Hz, the drive may output 120 volts, and at 40 Hz, 240 volts. This simple and reliable control method is commonly used in pumps, fans, and conveyor applications. Like any electronic equipment, VFD can experience faults during operation. Some of the most common faults include overcurrent, usually caused by motor overloads or short circuits, and overvoltage, which can occur during regeneration or high supply voltage conditions. Other common alarms include undervoltage, overload, overheating, and external faults received from connected protection devices. Understanding these fault codes helps maintenance personnel troubleshoot problems quickly, minimize downtime, and maintain reliable operation of the motor and drive system. In most industrial applications, VFDs are integrated with PLC for automatic control and monitoring. The PLC sends digital commands to the VFD for functions such as run, stop, and forward or reverse operation. An analog output signal, typically 0 to 10 volts or 4 to 20 milliamps, is used to provide the speed reference. In return, the VFD sends status signals such as run, ready, and fault back to the PLC, along with speed feedback when required. This integration enables centralized control, automation, and real-time monitoring of motor-driven processes. Modern VFD support various communication protocols that enable seamless integration with PLC, SCADA systems, and industrial networks. Modbus RTU is one of the most common and cost-effective protocols, while Profibus DP and Profinet are widely used in Siemens-based automation systems. Ethernet IP is commonly used in Ethernet-based industrial networks for high-speed communication. Using these protocols, operators can remotely start and stop drives, adjust speed, monitor operating parameters, and receive fault information in real time, improving both control and system efficiency. One of the biggest advantages of using a VFD is its ability to provide precise motor speed control while improving overall system efficiency. By starting and stopping the motor gradually, a VFD reduces high inrush current and mechanical stress on equipment. This helps extend motor life and reduces maintenance requirements. VFDs also save energy, especially in pump and fan applications, where motor speed can be matched to actual process demand. The result is improved process control, higher efficiency, better equipment protection, and lower operating costs. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to Instrulogic for more practical training on instrumentation, automation, PLCs, SCADA, and industrial control systems. See you in the next training video. Stay safe, keep learning, and keep growing as an engineer.